Hello everyone and happy Monday. Welcome to Live at Lunch with the WCA. My name is Maddie Pearl and I am a court advocate here at the Women's and Children's Alliance. Go ahead and bear with me for this. It's the first time I've ever gone live on anything. So I might have to stop a couple of times, look and see if people are asking questions. Yeah, so just go ahead and bear with me for this. So again, my name is Maddie Pearl. And I'm going to go ahead and just start this off by reminding everyone that the WCA is still open to anyone who is struggling with domestic violence or sexual assault. So if you'd like to, you can call in to our 24/7 hotline at 208-343-7025. And if it's not safe for you to make that call, you can also come into our downtown office at 720 West Washington Street. We are still open to the public. So I'll go ahead and just start off by talking about giving a little background about myself and why I got started in the job that I'm in now. I've lived in Boise for about 5 years now. I came here to go to Boise State and I ended up falling in love with the town, which I think a lot of people do when they come out here for college. So I decided to stay after I graduated, like a lot of people do. And when I was in college, I actually struggled a lot with an emotionally abusive relationship, and I was able to receive really incredible help on campus to work through that. And after I got all the help that I needed for that in my last year, I decided that I wanted to give back to the community and volunteer with people struggling with the same things that I was struggling with. And I found myself really loving the work I was doing. And I wanted to try and actually make a career out of it after I graduated. And I was so lucky that I was able to find a job after I graduated, and it's been the most rewarding year of my life so far, especially working with the team that I work with. My team is such an incredible group of women who are all just as passionate about the work as I am, and they constantly make me want to grow more and learn more in the position that I'm in. And with the work that my team does, we really have to trust and rely on each other, I'd say, especially right now with quarantine going on and working from home all the time. We really have to have that great communication and be able to, lean on each other, which is something that I think my team is really good at. We're very close, I would say. We've been struggling because my team, and I see some people on here. Hi, Madison. I see that my team, we love to go out and have lunches together during the week or grab a happy hour at the end of the week. So it's been a real bummer we haven't been able to do that recently, but it's been nice that things are opening up again. We've been texting, trying to figure out a time for the next time that we get to go out and catch up again and all be together again. But yeah, we've been definitely struggling not being able to see each other. I think my team can attest to that. And for those of you who don't know, the court advocacy team is available to assist people with filling out civil protection orders online currently. And I'm sorry, there's a garbage truck going by currently. I'll go ahead and wait for that to pass. So sorry, I'm in my backyard right now, so a little bit of noise is going on in the background. But my court advocacy team is available at our downtown location to help people fill out their civil protection orders online currently. The courthouse has been closed to the public, so normally you'd be able to go into the courthouse and be able to fill out protection order paperwork, and advocates such as myself would be there to go over that with you. But with everything being closed, we are so happy to say that we have been able to keep our doors open in our downtown office to continue to try and do that. So if that is something that you or someone you know wants to do, they can call our direct extension at 208-343-3688 extension 200 and set up a time with us to come into our office, and we are there to assist people with filling that out electronically. It's kind of a guided questionnaire that takes you through step-by-step questions to be able to apply for that protection order. We also have it set up in our club room in our downstairs at our office for people to have their video hearings there as well. Again, normally when things are normal and the courthouse is open to the public, we're able to go with people into their civil protection order hearings and sit with them up at the council table, support, and try to answer any questions that they might have during hearings. And again, we are so happy to say that we are still able to do that. So our doors are open for people who want to come in and still have an advocate present with them. And it looks like Christina logged on too. Hi, Christina. Yes, so again, if you know anyone, or if you that is something that sounds interesting to you, again, you can call our direct extension. And you can also call that extension if you just have any questions about filing for a civil protection order, or if it's something that you're not sure if you would qualify for, things like that. I'd also be happy to go over that with everyone right now. For those of you who don't know, someone who's applying for a civil protection order, they can file under 2 different statutes. They can file under one or both of them. And the first statute that I can go over with everyone is the domestic violence statute. And this statute has 2 criteria that a judge is typically looking for in order to grant those orders. And the first criteria is typically to see if there is a domestic relationship between the person who's filing, anyone that they're filing on behalf of, such as kiddos, and then the person that they're filing against. So that qualifying domestic relationship could look like someone who's been married or previously married, dating or previously dated, having a kiddo in common, or being related by blood, marriage, or adoption. And then if there is that qualifying relationship, then typically a judge would be looking to see if there's been a recent act or threat of physical injury, sexual abuse, or forced imprisonment. And a judge is typically looking at about the last 2 weeks to see if any of those 3 things have occurred. They're looking to see if there is that immediate and present danger to the person that's filing, or anyone that they're filing on behalf of, such as kiddos. And then the second statute that someone can file a civil protection order under is stalking and threats, and that also has 2 criteria. The first would be to see if there's been a recent act of stalking, telephone threats, or threats or injury based on a protected class, and I'll kind of break each of those down. So stalking could be the repeated acts of non-consensual contact, either in person or electronically. We've typically seen that judges are focusing on that repeated part to see if things have been occurring more than once, or if someone has asked someone to stop contacting them, stop messaging them, or stop showing up to their home, things like that, and they still continue to do so. Telephone threats could be telephone communication that threatens physical injury or harm to someone and is made with the intent to terrify, threaten, or intimidate. And then threats or injury based on a protected class is threats of injury to someone's person or property because they belong to a protected class, which would be someone's background, such as race, religion, ethnicity. It's what's typically considered hate speech. And then that second criteria for that would be to see if there has one of those 3 things have occurred within about the last 90 days. So there's a little bit more of a time period that a judge can look at for stalking and threats than there is for domestic violence, but they're still looking to see if there's that immediate and present danger to someone that's filing. And again, if you have any questions about those statutes that I just went over, you're always welcome to call our direct extension and ask those questions, and we can hopefully get those questions answered for you. And then some other things that I'd be happy to go over right now. It's just kind of what that process looks like. I think a lot of people are nervous, understandably, about applying for a protection order and what that'll look like for them moving forward after they do so. So I am going to just kind of go ahead and go over briefly what that usually looks like. So when someone applies for a civil protection order, if the judge finds that the criteria has been met under one of the statutes or both of the statutes, they can typically go ahead and grant an order on an emergency temporary basis. And they would be set for another hearing within 14 days where a judge would make a more long-term decision about that order. And so that next hearing is what's called the 14-day hearing. And so that is where, as a petitioner, someone can come in. That is where, as a petitioner, you can present evidence, testimony, and then you can also bring witnesses if you have them. And then the respondent would usually be able to do the same thing. And then usually at that point is where a judge would make a decision on whether or not to grant that order for a period up to 1 year initially. And so what that can look like evidence-wise is we've seen petitioners in the past bring things like printed out text messages, emails. It can be useful if you have them, like phone recordings or anything like that, to have that put on a thumb drive and be able to hand that over to a judge in a hearing. With how things are currently with everything being electronic, we've seen that judges, clerks have been taking evidence through email ahead of time before the hearing, and that is something that any of the advocates would be happy to assist with, getting those to the judges before hearings occur. And yeah, again, if you have any questions about evidence or testimony, bringing witnesses, we are still allowing witnesses to also come to the WCA for those hearings. If you're going to have your hearing electronically with us, they can also come with you and be in that hearing with you as well. We've seen that it can be, if it can be awesome to have that support system with you as well for those hearings. And for anyone who's coming into the WCA, I'm sure people have been mentioning it in the past, but we typically just ask those COVID-19 screening questions, and if that would be for you or any other witnesses or support people you bring along with you, we'll just typically be asking a quick couple of questions, and then if you're clear, you can come on in. We're asking that people are wearing masks while they're in there with us, and then any of the advocates or the administration right when you walk in will also be wearing masks, and we're also getting screened every day before we come into work as well to make sure that we are healthy and well and able to safely assist people through these processes. And if you have questions about any of those, you can call the hotline as well and talk to them about that. And so for if you do have a civil protection order in place and the person that you filed against has been violating that order, I'm just going to go over some of the things that someone can do for that. So if someone is violating an order, you can report that to either 911 or non-emergency at 208-377-6790. And that can be up to you which one you want to report that to. We've seen that, it could be calling 911 if someone is coming to your home, non-emergency if they're sending text messages when they shouldn't be, things like that. We've also seen it can be useful to keep track of those things moving forward. That way, if any criminal charges do come up in the future, that as a petitioner, you kind of have those things written down and ready to hand over. And also, for those of you who don't know, the court advocacy team also assists people not only with civil protection orders, but my colleague Erin is also able to assist people with divorce and custody processes and paperwork. She has been awesome being able to take phone appointments right now, or she started doing Zoom appointments as well to be able to answer questions about those processes and paperwork. So we are so excited again to say that we are still able to assist people even if it's not in person, and we've seen that it's been pretty useful to be able to do that over Zoom with her, and she's been able to answer a lot of those questions for people. We also offer safety planning at the WCA, so myself and my colleagues can set up those appointments again via phone or Zoom. We've been doing that over the last few weeks, and then once things are open again, hopefully we can get people back into the office and be able to have those in person again, but we are still doing those over the phone if that is something that sounds useful to you or someone that you may know. And again, you can call our direct line at 208-343-3688 extension 200 to be able to set up those appointments. Anyone that you get a hold of on the court advocacy team can be able to set that up, whether it'll be with Erin or anyone else for safety planning. And just some other great resources that I can go over with everyone is that some other resources that for people who are needed to ask some direct legal questions that we aren't usually able to answer since we're not attorneys and we're advocates. We do have a direction that we can point people, and that is to Idaho Legal Aid Services and Idaho Volunteer Lawyers Program. So Idaho Legal Aid Services does have a advice line that's open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where someone can call in and ask some legal questions directly to a volunteer attorney. And a number that you can reach them at is 208-746-7541. They're usually really great about getting back to you if you leave a message for them. We've seen, especially recently, they've been able to either they pick up immediately or they get back to you pretty shortly after that. You can also call Idaho Volunteer Lawyers Program at 208-334-4510. And if you have any questions about those resources that I just went over again, you can go ahead and give us a call. We can hopefully get that answered for you. We also try to do referrals over to those two agencies if someone's looking for legal representation for divorce, custody, or civil protection orders. That's something that you can call our extension for, and we try to get that sent over to them and see if they are have the availability to be able to offer that legal representation. They usually, if they have the availability to be able to do so, they usually can be able to do that. And I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm new to live, so I'm just gonna go ahead and check and see if there's been some questions. I'm seeing some things pop up while I've been going. Yeah, and thank you for posting all those numbers that I've been going over. And yeah, and I think that is all of the info that I have for you guys. Again, my name is Maddie Pearl. I'm one of the court advocates. I have so many incredible coworkers that I work with that if you call that 208-343-3688 extension 200, you would be able to reach any of us, and we could hopefully get you pointed in the right directions that you need, hopefully answer any questions that you have, and can assist with those civil protection orders. And yeah, I think that might be all that I have. Go ahead and call in if any questions come up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Monday, everyone, and I hope that everyone has a safe and healthy rest of your week. And yeah, thank you.